correspondent in Israel back in March. I've been to Bahrain many times. I'm very proud of my connectivity with His Majesty, King Hamad, and the royal family. And of the 6 Gulf states, if I was a betting man, I would predict that Bahrain will be the first of the 6 Gulf states to establish relations with closer to Israel. Clearly, Iran is a factor, but it's not the only factor. You know, I recently heard from the Saudis that their particular interest in Israel is not only in terms of combating Iran, but the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, known as MBS, his new economic reform plan in 2030, they see the value of joining forces with Israel in terms of creating that part of the world as one of the most prosperous and one of the most lucrative regions in the world in terms of the people in the streets. You know, I've heard this from the leadership of Qatar. I've heard this from the leadership of Saudi Arabia. I've heard this from the leadership of Bahrain, that they themselves represent a whole new dynamic in the Gulf. It's a young leadership. It's a leadership that has been educated here in the United States. They get it. The real challenge is how do you disseminate this new direction and this new orientation to the people in the streets? Again, that's a process, and I'm not going to sit here and represent that we've reached the promised land of Gulf-Israel relations. I want to remind you, it took the Israelites 40 years to get to the promised land. The good news is that the journey has begun, and among the 6 Gulf states, I believe Bahrain will be the first.
And they've expressed that explicitly to you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, let's hope you're right. Thank you so much, Rabbi Mike Schneier. Appreciate you being on the show.
My pleasure.